Club football is officially back, and to kick off the weekend, we've got Manchester City taking on Liverpool. Title implications, top four implications. What a match this is going to be. And I'm going to pose the question to you first, G. What do you think is going to happen in this match?
I think Liverpool are going to end Manchester City's title hopes this season. Look, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think City always seem to struggle against Liverpool. They're only one in their last five when they play Liverpool. I mean, they seem to always play down and Liverpool play up. And things are not lining up for Man City right now. They're injured Haaland right now. They're down Phil Foden. And Liverpool still, they've been shaky up and down, but they seem to always find an extra gear when they play Man City and Pep Guardiola. Klopp likes playing Pep. So I think just the implications of what this means, I think Liverpool are going to be hungry to end their title hopes, and I see this being a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a very thrilling game. I know it's a bit, I'm predicting a draw here, but a draw is a loss for Manchester City. They have to win every single game that's left in their fixtures.
Wow. So, if that happens, I do think, Arsenal would basically maybe have the league kind of wrapped up at that point. That would be very tough to come back from. Obviously, a lot still to play, though. Ultimately, I know that Erling Haaland is injured. I know Phil Foden is injured. Manchester City are picking up injuries to key players at the wrong time. They need all of their players fit, especially right now. But with that being said, everything is going against Manchester City right now. They have these injuries. Liverpool always seem to play good against Manchester City. It doesn't matter what's been going on with that club. They always play up when they play Man City, when they face Pep Guardiola. But I think at the Etihad, Manchester City will take care of business and get the job done. I know that they don't have Erling Haaland, but I think they can just slot in Julian Alvarez and they'll be okay. And I still think, even though they have this injury, that they can still play to the top of their game. And I think ultimately Pep Guardiola and this Manchester City team know that they have to win this match. They have to win pretty much every game from here on in if they're going to have a chance to catch Arsenal and win the Premier League. So I do think at home they're going to be able to find a way and get the job done. Liverpool have not been the same team that they've been in the past, especially under previous seasons under Klopp. So I just think, even though they always seem to play up against Manchester City, I think that they will find a way. They'll get the job done. And I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 2-1 Manchester City win.
And that's a possibility that could really happen. But just how you said it, when you said it, that there's a lot of pressure that goes into the match for Manchester City. They have to basically win every single game, and that could be to the detriment because we know what Pep does. Pep is thinking about this game. He's a constant overthinker, and this is as big as it gets. I know this is not the Liverpool team that of the past of even maybe 2 seasons, even last season. It's a completely different team, but it's still there. It still has, led by Klopp, has those core players that have played City numerous times, and it's just City don't perform very well. This is the same City team. They've only won one game of their last 5. That's just how it is. They struggle to play this Liverpool team, and that was in what City beat them in the EFL Cup. So it's been a while. Look, I'm not fully striking City out as absolutely no chance. I think it's going to be a very close game. That's why I have it being a draw. But I think Liverpool just they're going to do enough to just hold off City's whole comeback parade to try and win the title.
I do think a draw would be one of those results where I think both teams would be disappointed. Because for Liverpool, obviously, they have different goals.
They need the points as well.
But they need 3 points if they're going to catch the top 4. And ultimately, in order to attract the players that they're trying to attract, particularly a Jude Bellingham, they're going to need Champions League football. And they do, even though they've started off the season so poor, they have, started to pick up form towards the latter end of the season. And they have the chance, if they can win out, maybe not win every game, but if they can win a majority of their games, they can make the top 4. But they're going to have to get results in games like this. So Man City, we know why they need to win this game. They need to catch Arsenal. They have points to make up, ground to make up. They're going to have to win pretty much all of their games because you look at Arsenal, they don't seem to be dropping that many points. And if they do, Man City have always dropped points typically as well.
Alongside them.
Exactly. So both teams need all 3 points. So a draw, I think both managers would be kicking themselves in the locker room if it ends up being a 2-2 draw, like you said. But I think that's going to play to the detriment of maybe both sides because both sides are going to be going for it. I don't think either side is going to be playing for a draw at any point in this match. If it's 2-2 at the end of the game, I think Liverpool are going to be going for it, and Manchester City are also going to be going for it. They're not just going to say, you know what, we'll take the draw.
I definitely don't think any of these teams are going to be going to this game saying, you know what, I'm going to try and take a draw. But as a Liverpool fan, I'm sure if you ask them, they would obviously everybody prefers a win. But if they could get a draw, it's better than a loss because City's just on paper the far better team. I mean, they're just better in every single position. But if you're able to scrape a point off them and still keep, it's not a loss, and you're still kind of in that top four race, they'll take it. I mean, you have to take your points as they come, and this is obviously number two, second best team in England, so you have to take whatever you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now Liverpool are 5 points behind Newcastle with 26 matches played for both of them, and currently 7 points behind Tottenham. But they have 2 games in hand on Tottenham. But Newcastle also have 2 games in hand on Tottenham. So pretty much, if you can assume Liverpool might win those games in hand, but you can also assume Newcastle might win those games in hand. So realistically, they have to make up 5 points on Newcastle. So obviously, things can happen between now and the end of the season. So if they don't get a win in this game, it's not the end of the world. You can still make up 5 points regardless of how this game goes. But obviously, if you can get a win here, it would go a long way, not just in the
Yeah,
points total, but also
it'd
in
be
mentally
yeah.
confidence. And obviously, they still have players coming back from injury. I mean, I just saw Luis Diaz is finally getting fit. It seems like forever
I
ago
saw
since
them
we've
back
seen
in
him.
training. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. So
gosh.
Liverpool maybe finally starting to get fit. They're going to start to get fully healthy, and that's going to help them in this latter end of the season, and ultimately potentially catch them in the top four race.
Yeah, and obviously it's a little bit of a different story with Manchester City. Obviously down Phil Foden and down what looks to
Erling
be Erling
Haaland.
Haaland,
Yeah.
and obviously those are arguably their two best players, number one and two. So it's going to be definitely very
Well,
difficult. I
Kevin
mean,
De Bruyne.
shit, I kind of forgot about Kevin De Bruyne, but yeah, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is still there, obviously, but is Phil Foden's that guy that he can really change. He can win you games just on his own. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how good he is. He's that good of a player, and the fact
Yeah.
that City are not going to have him, that's not good.
I
But
mean, yeah, but I don't mean to downplay Erling Haaland's injury because of course he's literally going to break the Premier League record for goals this season probably. I mean, he is the Golden Boot winner in this league for a reason. I mean, it's Erling Haaland, but I mean, what better player to have to replace Erling Haaland than World Cup winner Julian Alvarez? I mean, it's not the end of the world, I don't think.
no, no. I mean, I've expressed how much I like Julian Alvarez on here. I mean, I really like him as a player and what he does off the ball and what he provides. But obviously, it's Erling Haaland. You would, I'm sure
Of
City.
course you're going to miss
Of
him,
course, you're gonna miss him. You're gonna still want
but
him.
they
But
have just about as good of a replacement as you possibly could. I
yeah,
mean,
I would agree.
that's probably the best starting 9 and backup 9 you could possibly have, maybe in world football. I mean, you have Julian Alvarez on the bench. Julian
Yeah,
Alvarez on the bench. You know what I mean? That just shows how deep this team is, how good this Manchester City team is, and it also goes to show how good Arsenal have been this season to be, leading the
able
league
to
over
hold
this
them
team.
off.
Exactly. But I mean, ultimately, this is one of those games we've had circled on the calendar. We've been waiting to see this matchup because, look, I mean, for the past maybe 6 years, Manchester City versus Liverpool, you circle that game on your calendar. This is going to be a good fixture. And even though both teams may be underperforming by their own standards this year, it's guaranteed to be a good game. These two always play good against each other. I'm expecting another classic Guardiola versus Klopp match. I mean, what more could you want? First match since club football is coming back in the Premier League. I mean, this is what dreams are made of.
I mean, it's definitely gonna be a must see there in the Etihad. It's gonna be nice. Obviously, we have to wake up real early to watch it here in the
We do.
states. Where that's what 7:30.
7:30.
But
But if you're gonna wake up for any match, this is the match you want to wake up for.
it's gonna be a good match.
But let us know in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen in this match? Who will win? Will it be Liverpool? Will it be Manchester City? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for more football content. Slap a like on the video. But I think without further ado, I'm Zach.
I'm G.
And we will see y'all next time for another video. Peace.